Hey, Ideal Principal here. Back at it again with another thing. Since baseball season is ending, I decided to answer an age-old question. If the Sandlot team and the Bad News Bears team all grew up, who'd win? Let's find out. As you can see, I put the Bad News Bears team on the Oakland Athletics because this game doesn't let you create a team and then use them in exhibition. And if it does, I don't know how. So let's go ahead and introduce these scrubs. First up, we got the juvenile delinquent superstar, Kelly Leak. He kind of grew up to be the next Jeffrey Dahmer, but he was broken out of jail just for this game. And next up, we got the doesn't throw like a girl, Amanda Wurlitzer, or however you say her last name. It was kind of hard creating a girl in this game because all the templates are dudes, but I just maxed out the thighs and the fatty, and it got close enough. So yeah, she's a beast pitcher. And then we got the stereotypical fat catcher, Mike Engelberg, who's basically the Walmart version of Hamilton Porter.
Please don't call me fat. I prefer the term.
And then next up we have the token black kid, Ahmad Abdul Rahim. He looked up to guys who took steroids, so he took them himself, and it made his eyes more bug-eyed. And then we have Guillermo, not going to pronounce his last name. He's only on the team for American Intel, but he basically became the main character of the remake, which is basically what this team is based off of because I don't think anybody watching this has watched the first one. And then we got Tanner Boyle, which I think I got pretty accurate because he's a weird looking kid, and he's short and stubby. That's why I made him short and stubby. And then we got Billy Bob Thornton's stepkid, Toby Whitewood. He's almost grown used to his coach banging his mom. And then we got another Middle Eastern who never really been known to play baseball, but Prem Lahiri? He does make everybody feel a little uneasy whenever they're on a plane though. And then last and least, we have Timmy Lupus. He definitely has lupus, and I hope he doesn't die before the game ends. But I'm sure if he did, nobody would notice. But that's pretty much it. As an honorable mention, I did create Matthew Hooper, the wheelchair kid. But he's extra trash, he can't stay on the team. But I made his legs as small as I could possibly get because he's always in the wheelchair. But I think I got it pretty accurate without the wheelchair. Just wish I could have made his legs a little bit more pencil thin because, I mean, he never uses them. But that's it for the Bad News Bears squad. And if you haven't yet seen my Sandlot videos, I'll do a quick introduction of the Sandlot team. First we have Benny the Jet. Currently he's still using all his time to run away from dogs, but now it's just from all the husbands of all the women he's banging. Get out of my house! And then we've got Kenny Din Nunez. He comes equipped with a classic heater, and in between his legs he's got a giant Peter. And then next up we got the legendary Hamilton Porter, the great Hambino. And he's the real deal. He's just hitting dingers so he can make it home in time for lunch. And because this team needed a closer, they hopped over to another movie and recruited Henry Rowan Gardner. He's still got the 100-mile-per-hour fastball, but he's boring and probably won't play very much. And then we've got Scotty Smalls, who has really become a pillar of this team. But he really just appreciates being part of a team and a group of friends that hardly make fun of his dead dad. And then we have everybody's favorite dreamboat, yeah. And his sole purpose is to make all those baseball moms slide off their seats. He's got a really good glove though. He just never wears one outside of the game. And then we've got Mr. Steal Your Lifeguard, Michael Squints. And he's going to lock down second base just like he locked down Wendy Peppercorn. And he's very swagged out. And he's number 69, which just makes sense to me. And then we've got Bertram Grover Weeks, who put the drugs aside to attend the game. But don't be surprised if you see him sneaking some shrooms into his lip in the dugout, because the man got some addiction problems. And then we have Chatty McChatterson, Timmy Timmons. It took me some time to come around on him, but the boy is just a dinger machine. But then we got his lame as fuck brother, Tommy Timmons, who is the opposite of a Chad. And he's basically that guy that just nobody wants around. I didn't even want to create him. But that's it. Those are the squads. So let's get to it. And then the Sandlot crew has the home field advantage. They're playing at the Sandlot. James Earl Jones has had some house renovations. But Benny has been knocking too many dingers over there. And then we've got Billy Bob Thornton fully torqued for this one. I hope you're excited because I am. Hey man, you see that fatty on that picture over there? Yeah, I saw it. I'd really like to eat that for lunch. Come on man, get your head out of the gutter. I'm trying to get my head in something, you know what I mean? Oh, you fucking... For the first batter was Tanner Boyle, and then Din Nunez struck him out pretty quick, so that's just how the game's probably going to go. And then Guillermo comes up and hits a nice little base hit. Nice. Good for him. He gives a nice little fist pump for his Arab buddies. And then Kelly Leak gets humbled with a little strikeout here. And then Walmart Hambino comes up and strikes out looking. So Keaney was already dealing in the top of the first. We get a nice little shot of the Sandlot. It's beautiful. And then we get our first glimpse of some feminine power. She decided to take some time away from the kitchen to cook up some heaters. The ladies will be talking about this for centuries. But since Yeah is up to the plate, I'm sure the ball will be a little wet. Might be an advantage though, I don't know. But Yeah just wanted to show that he was an ally, so he grounds out for the first out. And then Squints comes in and he does the same thing. Grounds out to first. It's really admirable what these guys are doing. I respect it. Hambino's on deck though, he doesn't give a fuck. But then Benny goes ahead and strikes out looking, which is uncharacteristic. So it seems like they were kind of giving a little charity effort there at the beginning. Then the Bad News Bears token, he leads off the second inning. So it's kind of like a real face-off between these two. Kenny throws a high heater, which is called a ball. He's not happy about it. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? Come on. But then Abdul Rahim gets a hold of one, but it just goes to Smalls. And then Abdul Rahim has a little trap back of shame. It's very boring. Nothing was really happening in the beginning of the game until this. Billy Bob Thornton's stepson really gets a hold of one. Of all people, I guess he had a lot of frustration let out. Danina's pretty pissed about it. Dug out his hype, and then he's just kind of taking a boring stroll. And then he locks arms with the terrorists. So the Bad News Bears take a 1-0 lead. And then Premley here, he gets a hold of one. What a nice and accurate hit. It kind of reminds me of that tragedy. Then the Make-A-Wish kid comes in. He gets a hold of it too, but he just flies out to Benny. And then we got Girl Power up at the plate. She's got a real tiny strike zone, but it's not Kenny's first time fitting something into a small hole. But the Bad News Bears were the first on board with a dinger from the step kid. But now we got the Hambino leading off the second. And I can already tell he doesn't give a shit about this pandering effort, which is evident as he gets a hold of one into the right corner. Typically would be possibly a double, but Hambino's pretty slow. He'll take the single. But it doesn't amount to much as Small strikes out and then Timmy swings into a double play. So after two, we got 1-0. It's pretty boring so far. But things start to pick up in the bottom of the third. Yeah, starting a little 2-out rally with a man on second and him on first. Yeah, take that. I'll give you my other bat later. And then Squints comes in and hits a little blooper, which brings the druggie around to score. Ties the game up. 1-1. We've got some action. Wendy's gonna give you anal later. And then Benny's up to bat. It's a tough spot for Amanda, but I'm sure it's not the first time she's been pounded by 3 guys in a row. And then Benny just flies out, so that ends the third. We're tied 1-1. And then in the bottom of the fourth, the Hambino continues his woman abuse and smacks a dinger into oblivion.
You play ball like a girl!
I had to let the Hambino flex a little bit. And then Smalls comes in for some good tag team action. He has a fun celebration too. Look at him flying around the pads. This mound is hotter than the kitchen, damn it. And then just to add insult to injury, Tommy Timmons of all people gets his dick wet. So that's back-to-back-to-back dingers that Amanda Wurlitzer has given up. But then the cops were called for woman abuse and they were able to get out of the inning. And there aren't many highlights from Bad News Bears because Kenny is just dealing. So after 5, he's only given up 1 run. And then in the bottom of the 5th, the Sandlot adds on as Benny beats out a double play ball just in time for the great Hambino to come in. He continues showing his misogynistic ways as he takes a shot to the corner, which brings Benny the Jet home, which brings the Sandlots routing to 6-1. And then at the end of the 5th, they've taken the girl out, unfortunately. And then Kenny just continues dealing through the 6th. They just can't hit the boy. The Mandingo is just doing his best TSA impression. They found themselves on the no-fly list. And the Bad News Bears are able to get some contact, but the defense is just too solid. Premley here just needs to send a little letter back home to one of them caves. Get a little help from the Jihad. I'm sure they got a plane or 2 to spare. Too soon. So by the bottom of the 9th, they took Kenny out, and they have this guy in who walks their token. So we'll see if they get a little rally going here. Billy Bob's stepson almost got something going, but he just wasn't fast enough. And then our Muslim brother gets some contact, but he just grounds out as well. So it's all up to the kid with lupus. It's his time to shine. What a storybook moment for the boy. His whole life he's been laughed at, and now he can just turn the tides with one swing, and it's just a fly ball to first. And there it is, the Sandlot boys win, 6-1. It was a pretty big letdown from the Bad News Bears team, but I guess what do you expect when your coach is a drunk? Your starting pitcher is raising 4 children with another one on the way, your reserves are some kid in a wheelchair, and half your team is spending an awful lot of time in New York. But that'll pretty much do it. Like and subscribe and stay tuned for the next video. Tuned. I was thinking about, moving to football now since it's football season, but Madden is just so fucking trash. So we'll see. But yeah, thanks for watching. Keep it trill.